A long time ago, in the land of Egypt, there lived a king called Pharaoh. He was afraid the Israelites, God's people, were growing too strong and too many. So, he gave a terrible order: every baby boy born to the Israelites must be thrown into the Nile River. Can you imagine how scared the families must have been? Now, in a small home not far from the Nile, a brave woman named Jochebed gave birth to a beautiful baby boy. She looked at her tiny son and knew she had to protect him, no matter what. His life was precious. So, for 3 whole months, she hid him in their home, keeping him quiet and safe. But babies grow. And it was getting harder and harder to hide him. What would she do now? One day, Jochebed made a bold decision. She wove a basket out of tall reeds and coated it with tar to keep water out. Then, with tears in her eyes, she placed her baby inside. She took the basket to the edge of the Nile River and gently set it in the water, near the reeds where it wouldn't drift too far. She wasn't abandoning her baby. She was trusting God. Nearby, her daughter Miriam, the baby's older sister, watched carefully from the bushes. She wanted to see what would happen. Soon, someone came walking down to the river, Pharaoh's daughter, the princess. She came with her servants to bathe, and as she looked toward the reeds, she saw the basket. "Bring it to me," she said. When they opened the basket, the baby began to cry. The princess was moved with compassion. "This must be one of the Hebrew babies," she said kindly, and just like that, God worked something amazing. Before the princess could decide what to do, Miriam stepped forward. "Would you like me to find someone to help take care of the baby for you?" she asked. The princess smiled. "Yes, that would be wonderful." Guess who Miriam ran to get? Her mother, the baby's own mother, Jochebed, Pharaoh's daughter, said, "Take this baby and care for him. I will pay you." So Jochebed got to raise her own son. And she was even protected by the royal family. When the child grew older, Jochebed brought him back to Pharaoh's daughter, just as she promised. The princess adopted him as her own son and gave him a special name, Moses, which means, drawn out of the water. From that moment on, Moses would grow up in the palace, but his heart would always belong to God's people. One day, God would use him to lead the Israelites to freedom, but that's a story for another day. What can we learn from this one? Even in the scariest times, when things seem out of our control, God is always watching over us. From a quiet home to a riverbank, from a basket to a palace, God was guiding every step of Moses' life. And He does the same for us. Your life is not an accident. You're not alone. Just like baby Moses, you are loved, protected, and chosen, right from the very beginning.